The NAR settlement changes are coming August 17th, 2024, and the buyer appointment, like we've been saying, is going to be more important than ever, and a lot of folks don't think about how they prep for showings, and prepping for showings is going to be really important. So we're going to break down exactly what to do to prep when you get to the showing. Next, if you get some value out of this, you like what you hear, make sure to hit subscribe on the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if you want to schedule a call with our team, you can do that with the link in the comments. So with these showing preparations, I'm a big believer that proper preparation prevents poor performance. You've heard me say that many times if you follow the show or anything we're putting out there. And what I know is there are some steps that get taken for granted when showing a home. So this is just for the showing. I'm going to break them all down for you here, and that way you know exactly what to do next time you get an appointment booked so you can be ready to move it down the funnel if the opportunity arises. This isn't about closing more sales. This is about creating an environment where if there's intent there, you've got answers to questions that will move folks to the next step. That's what a good salesperson does. So the first thing here, I'd be dressed and ready to go, right? You want to be there because this is a professional appointment. So I dress like this. I put ties on when I meet people for the first time. Women, it's going to be different. Nothing new here. Be ready for an interview or a professional meeting. That's going to be number one. And then secondly, I'd make sure I get there a little early. Not on time, a little early. So you can get into the house, unlock the doors, turn the lights on, and create a bright environment to show the home. If you're running late, make sure to call the client and let them know. That's what a professional does. So get there early, get the lights on. Then you get to the home, right? Meet the folks, greet them professionally, shake their hand, look them in the eye, and smile. That's going to be step one. No matter if it's the first meeting, the third meeting, whatever it is, bring the energy so you're ready for these appointments. Once you do that and you go into the home, I would be standing in the corner of the rooms. It's going to make the room feel a lot bigger. The lights are already on. You're already prepped. So that way you're creating an environment where they feel spaciousness. You're not on top of them. They can envision themselves living in the property. So we've got all that happening. What did you do to prep for the appointment? I would bring a printed itinerary of any homes you're going to be showing. I would know how long each home's been on the market, what the price is, if there was any adjustments, and I would explain that as you go into each property. So 123 Banana Street's been on the market 23 days. They just adjusted the price to $450. It was originally at $489. And here's what the seller paid for it 3 years ago, if that's relevant. You want to have an introduction to each property that gives you some intel on time on market, pricing history, and anything else you want to know. Then as you're walking through the home, I'd be pointing out positives and negatives. Hey, it looks like they just redid this kitchen. This is a really nice floor plan. Or, hey, it's kind of dark in this room. Or this carpeting might need to get replaced. Or this is a funny way to walk into a home. Whatever's going on and you're feeling it, express it both positively and negatively. Remember, you want to point out all the things that are happening. If it's on a busy road, hey, so this home could be great, but it's on a busy road, so just be aware of that. Or there's power lines in the back. Whatever that is, don't be afraid to point out the good things and the bad things about the property. So now you've researched what's going on and the history of the home. I'd also know what homes are selling for in the neighborhood, what the recent sales activity's been like, and any intel you can share there so that they're aware of where the values are trending right now. You would likely want to be able to share the average time on market for the neighborhood or what the last home sold for. Hey, this last one went in 3 days. They had multiple offers. It was priced right around the same number here, just so you're aware of what's going on in the community. All that prep work about sales data, trends, comparable sales, listing history, it's all going to help you create a professional showing environment so they know exactly what's going on. Then, so you do all this work, right? You get the lights on, you're walking around with them, you're not on top of the folks, you're pointing out positives and negatives. At the end, you get outside. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, what did you think about the home? And stop talking and let them give you feedback. They can say what they like. They can say what they didn't like. And then maybe you want to go a little deeper and say, so if you were going to rate this home from a 1 to 7, knowing north of 5 is offer territory, where would you rate the property? And see how that plays out. And get their feedback. And when they say, oh, this home's a 2 because of this, perfect. I'm never going to show you homes like that again. That way we're not wasting your time. Does that sound good? And that's what you want to do when you wrap up the appointment. So there's a lot of questions to ask afterwards. Obviously, you want to have clear next steps, get to a second meeting, make sure you're adding on additional homes that may be of interest, even if they're vacant and they didn't tell you to show you those. You might want to add them on anyway and say, hey, I'm not sure if these are going to be for you, but I added on 2 other properties. They're only 5 minutes from here. You want to go take a look. All this stuff is going to help you create a professional showing environment, and that's what professional agents do. There's a lot more importance around the buyer side of the transaction now. This preparation, these steps, they're going to work. They're proven. They're plays that work. I'd be running every single one of them.